Well, thank you so much for making the films that you made. Bloom and Dreamin'Zone have both been favorites in the program that we're sharing with libraries.
Thank you for being this. I'm very touched. On dit ça? Touché?
Okay.
Touched. Yes.
Thank you. So I hope that this conversation will be able to talk a little bit about your shift artistically to working in virtual reality, and then maybe talk about each of the films and your interest in those concepts and narratives.
I want to begin with why I chose to use VR, virtual reality. Quand j'ai essayé la première fois, j'ai trouvé que le média était très powerful, était très puissant. Et quand on fait une expérience, la partie des émotions sur le devant du cerveau fonctionne, but also the part at the back of the brain, et c'est lié à la survie.
And it's connected to, I don't know, survival, because Fabienne speaks a lot of living and surviving, which in French is the two verbs are very close together.
C'est survival part in the brain.
Because in French we say vivre and then survivre, live and survive, which the two words are closer probably than in English, or as far as I know.
C'est pourquoi la réalité virtuelle est très forte, parce que on vit l'expérience et en même temps on a les émotions.
That's why VR is very powerful, because first we experience, we live the let's say the story, and
on a les émotions.
And we have emotion.
Plus qu'avec un autre média.
Maybe we have more emotion than with other artistic mediums or medias. I don't know.
Ouais.
And
alors, ça demande aussi que le spectateur il ait un rôle dans l'expérience.
It requires the viewer to engage and take a role in the experience.
Aussi avec son corps et sa gestuelle, il est engagé.
Both, and also together with his body and gestures.
En tout cas, c'est ce que je fais dans Dreamin'Zone et Bloom, puisque je transforme le spectateur.
And that's what I do in Bloom and Dreamin'Zone, because I transform the viewer, including his body and his arms, for instance.
Yes. Il a un
so it goes that far, and the viewer, she has
un vrai rôle.
A real power, real role.
Il n'est pas juste témoin, comme des fois on voit dans les expériences et on ne sait pas ce qu'on fait ici. Parce que le message est beaucoup plus fort.
Having that new range of experience of the audience, did that unlock certain things creatively for Fabienne in writing and directing?
C'est un peu le rêve qu'on est à l'intérieur de l'histoire. Quand j'étais petite, je voulais aller dans les films.
What it maybe unlocked was the dream of being inside the story. And when I was little,
a child, my dream was to go inside the narrations, a film or a feature film, yes. To take the place of the hero, to be the hero.
When did you first encounter VR headsets in your, did you use them first for entertainment and then think about using them for art?
C'était en 2016. Et j'ai vu une expérience magnifique qui s'appelle Not on Blindness. I saw Not on Blindness. It was my first experience, and it was a great, it transformed me. I can feel the powerful of the VR with Not on Blindness. Maybe you know this.
Do you
this
know
experience?
Notes on Blindness?
Mm.
Yeah. So that was her first encounter with this type of experience, and it was in 2016.
And we also have a role of this man who becomes blind. We have his point of view, and it was a very a big transformation in my brain, and I saw it was very powerful for me.
Can you talk a little bit about the technical aspects of building a film like Bloom in virtual reality? Thinking about the Futures Lab is working with new artists who are just exploring building in virtual reality. So that's the perspective I'm coming from.
I like to work with some few people, it's not a big team. I made my Bloom and Dreamin'Zone with Unity. Is a engine. You can meet sound and mixed sound and picture animation inside Unity, and
like with Unity, you can spatially map where certain aspects of sound and visual can be found.
And we can create animation with AI. For example, in Dreamin'Zone, at the moment you have small pebbles. They are intelligent like, because they have a comportment. They are very shy, and if you move too quickly, they become still, and you have to tame them. And I like it's a little programmation. It's not difficult to make, but they have a comportment in reaction of yours. If you move too quickly, they become still. Yes. The name of this animation is comportamental animation, or yes.
And you said that was AI generated?
Yes, but it's very light AI. It's not difficult to write the code.
It's okay. It's maybe first step of AI, first grade. But not first grade, but first level.
Yes,
it's more like algorithmic response to the movements of, okay, that's beautiful.
I will write with if and then. For example, if the viewer look at the bird, so the bird triggers the animation, the bird is flying away. Because also Bloom and Dreamin'Zone are made for standalone headset. The design graphic must be very light. For example, in Dreamin'Zone, when the cranes land,
when the cranes land,
there are just 5 or 6, but at the beginning I want to have maybe 15 cranes, but the technical developer say no, it's not possible. We have also hand tracking now. With Bloom, you have hand tracking and now finger tracking, and we can have a lot of tools with tracking something, and we can track the viewer and trigger animation or sound when he he touch or he look at something, and the narration becomes like a mirror of yourself, because what you see, for example, a bird on a tree, and if you look at the bird flies away. But if you don't look at the bird, he stay. And in my life, I look what I have in my mind. For example, si j'ai faim, je vais voir un gâteau. Si j'ai pas faim, je vais voir autre chose. To guide the audience, there is 3 ways. The first is the lighting. For example, in Dreaming Zone or in Bloom, sometimes all is black and it's just a part of the background is lighted, and I'm sure that the audience will see this part. The lighting very, very important. Also the sound. The sound is specialized.
Ah no,
Specialized.
Specialized.
Space in space.
Yes. You can trigger a sound more on the right or the left, and but it's not so efficient that than the lighting. And the third way is when a character come to you and speak to you and want to interact with you, to guide and to tell the story.
So you like to have as much control as possible?
Yes, but sometimes the audience is totally lost. The people they are afraid to make a bug, I don't know, but they are very passive. And if they don't touch after maybe 15 minutes, second, the condition is down and the barbed wire opens. Yes, the mandatory condition are not so mandatory. I put help with timer. The first version of Dreaming Zone, there is no timer help, and sometimes people are completely lost. Yes. One critical moment is when you have to take the letter in Dreaming-Zone, the letter of the mother on the ground, and it's with the controller, and sometimes people cannot use the trigger to take, and it's not very easy, and they can stay stuck.
Well, they can be stuck.
Yeah, at this moment, yes. And now with the trigger is not mandatory. I like natural interaction, and the more natural are the interactions, the best is the narration. And I use just the tracking of the hands, the finger, or the gaze. Yes. And I have another project in writing state, and it's about the daily life of the children in concentration camp, in final camp during the Second War. And it's also on survival and how children could survive in the concentration camp by playing, because we know that they can have a little dream in imagination by playing.
Why is survival as an archetype so central to your exploration?
Yes, it's very important for me because you feel the life when you survive. When you, for me, yes, c'est le mouvement plus que when we are in movement from the days to the life, it could be very, c'est très émouvant. It's very.
Pourquoi? De la vie, de la mort à la vie, à la nouvelle vie.
Oui.
Okay. Fabienne says that it can be very moving, this movement from death to life again, from death back to life. When people have felt danger in their life, it makes them a little bit different.
And that's why
maybe more sensitive, or
that's why the avatar in Dreaming-Zone, in Bloom, but in my future project, you are not the same at the end of the experience. You transform yourself, and you are not the same. And at the end of Bloom, you are a tree, and
maybe in Dreaming-Zone you crossed.
yes.
You've crossed the border. So you've moved and you changed.
Change, yes. My universe is very poetic, and there is a lot of ellipse. It's not so realistic, so there is no danger, but you step by step you are on the way, and you transform yourself from the beginning to the end. Yeah.
With Bloom, can you talk about, you wrote Bloom, right? You were a co-writer. Can you talk about your concept for that?
I wrote Bloom, and I'm with intelligence of trees. The scientific name is evapotranspiration of trees. The trees can give us water to survive, and it's a true matter.
There is water where trees are, which is the opposite of what a lot of people believe.
I am from Ornans. It's also the hometown of Gustave Courbet, a famous painter of 19th century.
19th century.
Maybe you know this painter, yes. And Bloom is in my hometown. And when I was a child, we speak a lot of Courbet, and the nature, the forest around Ornans are very beautiful. And it's also the place where I played. And that's why it's a mixed between Gustave Courbet, who painted a lot the nature and the intelligence of trees, because when Courbet when he painted the nature, it's like the oak trees, for example, of Courbet. You can see the intelligence of the oak trees inside the painting. Yes. And that's why also why we use the graphic design is like a small point, like Gustave Courbet, technique.
Points, spots.
Yes. Donc my two inspiration are Gustave Courbet and also Ernst Surcher, the engineer of
in trees.
In trees, yes.
And also her childhood
yes.
hometown.
For example, when you are on the bridge, at the beginning or at the end, you can see my house.
Her house,
Yes.
from her
Yes.
house of today.
Yes.
Not from the childhood, but okay.
Today I have a house on the river. Yes. And it's a very, I write this project after the death of my father. Yes.
Have you lived through a fire, or is climate change something that you're very interested in, or have you had personal experience with climate impact?
Not yet, but I can feel the transformation of the nature, and the river and the trees are in distress. No, yes, but not the big fire. It's for me a solution to increase the
heat.
feeling of heat. Yes,
The feeling of heat.
And the survival. You have no choice, no other choice to take refuge in the forest. I'm very proud and happy that Bloom and Dreamin'Zone ont du succès, enfin, plaisent. Yes.
She's glad and proud of it.
Thank you very much. Yes.
It's very impactful, though. It's having a really nice moment here. So thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, you'll have a good rest of your evening.
Okay,
Yes,
are we
thank
done?
you.
You're done.
Okay,
Bye.
bye-bye.
Bye. Thanks.